Maddison comes in.
And there'll be plenty of vision for me to show them with that second half where we just didn't play the football we want to. And as I said, I've been around long enough to know the game will bring you down pretty quickly if you go away from those kind of principles. Now, the ideal in the football world is you want to learn these messages and learn these lessons while you're winning rather than through defeat. But just because we won doesn't mean that you should escape the opportunity to improve, and that's what exists for us now.
And finally, I know what you're saying there, but your start tonight's created history. The most points for any manager in the Premier League, first 9 games. We saw the scenes at the end there with the supporters and the music. Just give us an idea of the feel factor around the club and the connection you've had straight away. They've welcomed you with open arms.
Absolutely. No, look, just because I'm grumpy doesn't mean everyone else has to be. Our supporters, supporters need to enjoy this. They're a big part of sort of what we've created so far. This is our 4th home game, and they've played a massive role in creating a great energy within the stadium, and that helps us, and makes it difficult for opposition. So they're a big part of sort of what we're trying to create here. And in football, if you can have really sort of compelling home form, and it certainly helps you to be successful, and you need your own people behind you in that sense, and they've been outstanding, like I said, right from the start. And the lads have sent them home happy tonight, and from that point of view, it's a credit to them.
Well, listen, we're really enjoying watching your Tottenham team. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Well done, top of the league.
Thanks, gents. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Ange Postecoglou live for you from North London, top of the league. So you can smile, he can be grumpy. That was the message.
That was funny, wasn't it? Don't worry, they know. But amazing, And we spoke before about standards, coming to work every day, working hard, improving. And even if we won, there's still stuff we can improve on. And those messages are clear, like you said.
Why wouldn't the Tottenham fans enjoy that? We saw the scenes at the end with some of the styles perhaps they've had to watch over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Absolutely, and a lot of the time you just get a feel, don't you? Managers like Conte, Mourinho, and others, you just think, are they really that attacking type of influence that are going to suit this Tottenham side and the demands of the fans at Tottenham? But this guy is, he really is, and I think I think they'll love him in interviews like this as well. He downplays himself. He's not grumpy at all, I'm pretty sure of that. But I think he's a very good manager, very suitable for this Tottenham team. And he's obviously getting a great tune out of them so far. Long may it continue.
What was key to it, do you think, for Spurs this evening, Gary?
Yeah, actually, they're out of possession, how aggressive they were and how much they went after Fulham. I was impressed with Fulham out of possession. I thought the game plan was very good. They looked well structured. They looked like they could control Spurs when they had the ball. It was these moments around the goals when they have to open up. You see the big space between the centre-backs, and then Spurs managed to punish them just by being relentless and aggressive with the press.
Was it also about being patient for them as well, Jamie? It didn't quite happen from the very first minute. They had to wait till the 36th minute for Son to score.
No, I thought they were really organised, Fulham, and we did a bit before the game in terms of Spurs' build-up. And obviously, as you would expect, a Premier League manager, Marco Silva, and his coaching staff had done a lot of work on that. And they found it difficult to actually penetrate through Spurs with the ball. But you see the other side of, as Gary's mentioned, the actual turnovers and pressing from the front. If you can't actually play through them, how else can you score a goal? And as we know famously, Jurgen Klopp said that counter-pressing is better than any number 10, playmaker basically. And you win the ball high up, and then from there it's a couple of passes and you're in.
Once they've got 2 up, do you think there'll be a little bit of concern, or maybe if he is a really hard taskmaster, which we think he is, Ange Postecoglou, that maybe just they dropped their levels and allowed Fulham a few chances to get back into the game?
Maybe. I think as a Premier League manager, you'll always want the performance to be perfect. So if there is anything that he'd probably want to improve, and I don't want to speak for him, I would guess, could we have been a little bit better in penetrating Fulham? Because teams are going to come and they are going to make it difficult. And then could we have kept our foot on the gas for a little bit longer? But you understand Spurs, they're in a comfortable situation. And to be fair to Fulham, wasn't a terrible effort of going away to Tottenham and having a go and making them themselves difficult to beat.
What did you like here, Gary, in terms of, you're talking about the counter-pressing, getting after teams aggressive? You see the set-up, the ball goes back.
Yeah, I just really like the centre-back just feeling free to jump out. You can see he's got the 9 inside him there, Jamie, and he has no concern about leaving Vinicius at all. Just front foot, aggressive, straight in on the number 8, making sure we win the ball back. And in this position, when you're pressing of Son between the 2 centre-backs, you see Tim Ream and Bassi just so spread now. And as soon as you win this ball back, can we find some quality? There it is. Like, no worry about the 9 behind him.
I know what you say, Joe. Just keep an eye on him. I think that there is a communication here with Romero. Just look at Van der Ven there now. As he comes across, he just
has a little glance.
He just has a little glance there. See, he's checking with his mates. Am I okay to go in there? The little head movement there. He's looking at his mate Romero. Am I okay to go and jump? Are you going to be okay coming across? Are you in a good position? Really good communication. Keeps checking his shoulder. And then when he goes, he's aggressive. That first touch is absolutely fantastic. It really is. But then, yeah, we can talk about the build-up. But listen, that man there, Son, one of my favourite players in the Premier League. I think he's absolutely outstanding. The initial press, as you said, comes from Maddison. Bassey's on his weak foot. I always say I don't like 2 left-foot centred backs, and that's one of the reasons why.
They get themselves in real tangle, don't they? But we have to talk about the quality of the finish. It's almost take it for granted when he's in that position that he's going to hit the target.
Yeah, you sort of know what's coming, don't you? You know, once Son arrives in that area of the pitch and he shifts it onto his right foot, the amount of times out of 10 that he's going to find that far corner are extremely high. So, yeah, no doubt at this moment this is ending up in the top corner.
We were speaking, and it took me back to sort of playing myself. It's not just Fulham going to Tottenham, you know, Tottenham were the favourites, but OK, out of possession, really organised. Tottenham didn't really play through. And the problem is when you get the ball, and we were talking about that when the game was going, and it took me back to playing for Liverpool away in Europe, where you'd go and you'd have that mindset of, we're going here almost for a 0-0. If we can nick it, fantastic, but we're going for a 0-0. And you'd be that organised, that mentality of defending, being aggressive, shape, that you almost didn't want the ball. And as soon as you got the ball, you'd have to almost open up a little bit. And that's what's happened here. They've got the ball, centre-backs have slipped, there's been a turnover, and the organisation's gone. And before you know it, it's 2-0.
Do you have sympathies with them defensively, though? The fact that Issa Diop has started every game, played every minute so far for Fulham, and tonight it's Bassey.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him, and it's not easy, you know, for him to come in. 2 left-footed centre-backs. If I'm being totally honest, I'd like to have seen him on the other side, and Tim Ream maybe going to that right side, the more experienced player. But listen, we've all had nights like that. It was a difficult night for him, and I'm sure it'll get better in the future.
Spurs certainly exploited it to their benefit, and I'm pleased to say that one of the goal scorers, James Maddison, is ready to speak to us live now from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He's silencing the audience, I think. James, are you ready? You ready to go with us? You've got a team of onlookers there.
Yeah, big team. All your boys behind, Dave. Just wanted to see how my hair was looking.
You get them in order. Listen, congratulations tonight, and well done for getting your first goal at home as well. How much of a relief does that come as?
Yeah, no, really happy, to be fair, Dave. You know, all my goal contributions so far this season have been away from home, so I keep seeing stats pop up everywhere about it being good away from home. But so it's nice to get off the market here and a convincing performance, solid win, and puts us back to the top of the table. So yeah, relatively happy.
Did it take a while for the team to get going tonight, to hit your stride?
I think it felt okay. It maybe felt a little bit disjointed. Fulham didn't really press, and our centre-backs were kind of able to just walk up the pitch with the ball almost, when we probably expected them to press a little bit higher. But I think we managed to. I actually started dropping a little bit deeper and was more involved in the build-up. I think we got a little bit more success that way, and then we broke through a couple of times.
So was that an instruction? Was that an instruction, James, or was that something you just decided to do yourself on the pitch?
I can actually hear Marco Silva's interview in my ear now. It's like the same with.
We'll try and do something about that, James. Can you hear me?
What's he saying?
Saying Maddison's goal was excellent, I think.
I was just asking, James.
Dave, you're louder, but I can just hear it in the background. But
we'll try and sort that out as we carry on, James. We'll try and remedy that. I was just asking if you decided to drop yourself deeper, or that was an instruction that came from Ange on the side.
No, the gaffer likes freedom. Thank you, whoever did that. The gaffer likes freedom, and he's happy for me to do that and rotate with the fullbacks, as you'll see, like when we play. You'll see the fullbacks are right inside, sometimes almost in number 10 positions, and the gaffer's fine with that as long as there's a structure to it, and there's players in the areas he wants, but it doesn't really matter who the personnel is, kind of thing. So if I end up in that almost inverted fullback role, but Destiny, who plays on my side, is in that number 8, number 10 role, then he's fine with that. And I felt like we had a bit more success when I actually dropped a little bit deeper, and he was the one up there because he actually got on the half turn when I found him a couple of times, and it worked more that way, I felt, in the first half.
James, we spoke to the manager about your role before the game and how much you'd brought to the team. But it was really interesting tonight, your role initially in both goals was actually pressing, not almost getting on the ball and creating something. How big a part of that is, you know, with the manager and Spurs right now, pressing from the front?
It's one of the main messages, to be fair, Cara. The manager's always had, like, if you look back at the history of the teams he's managed, they've always been front foot pressing teams. And the first day he come in, and he said pressing high is almost a non-negotiable at any stage of the game. So I think we had a game in pre-season where we went 1-0, 2-0 up, and then we kind of stopped pressing, sat in a little bit, and he went ballistic at half time. It was Shaq to the nets here, because he said that's almost how Tottenham have been in the past, kind of trying to protect a lead, and he says it's non-negotiable to keep going and keep pressing, and we go and score 3 and 4. So it's a conscious thing on my mind and on the team's mind that we press from the start, and no matter what the scoreline is, we keep going. So you see at the end, then I nearly get a goal if Sonny didn't get in the way from high pressing, even at 2-0. So it's definitely a conscious thing to keep going. Yeah.
Well, talking about 2-0, we're going to have a look at your goal now. I think you can just see it there in the screen. So let's go through it. So initially, I just got to take it back to the start. You're looking over your shoulder now. I mean, what is that? Are you waiting for someone to come in behind you to make sure, you know, you can press and make sure there's someone coming in behind you to fill that space?
Yeah, I'm normally when I've been pressing up, I'm just checking to see where Paulinho is, to be fair, the holding midfielder, and he's not kind of in shot. So, and Pape Sarr, if you see, he's in a good position. He's almost level with Iwobi. So I know I've got the licence to kind of get higher and edge to make that distance shorter to go and press Bassi on his right foot, because obviously he's a left-footed boy. I know Bassi from my time at Leicester. We were there when he was a young boy, and very good player, but obviously not right-footed. So I was kind of just trying to keep him on that right foot, and thankfully it caused a mistake, and we capitalised. Yeah.
And how pleased were you there? Sonny's put you in.
Yeah, just trying to stay on side and. Well, I checked earlier, and Bassi was still quite deep, so I kind of knew I probably didn't need to be behind Ream. I knew I had a couple more yards than that, and then it's just about staying cool and passing it in from close range, yeah.
And then once this goal goes in, it's a lovely finish. As I said, you know, you've got that time. Are you thinking in your head there about actually getting that first goal, or, you know, keepers coming out at you quick?
No, I was thinking about the type of finish, to be fair, Cara. I was thinking about what type of finish to go with. Didn't know whether to go with my left foot, or I didn't want to get almost tackled from the inside if I took too long, which can happen sometimes. But
talk us through the celebration. Come on.
Big darts fan, you know that, Cara. Hopefully you'll be seeing that a few more times this season.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Look at that. I mean, is Sonny's celebration worse than Saka's there with the arrows?
Sonny and Saka got similar actions, nowhere near good enough to be at a board.
Well, James, before the game, as I said, I was speaking to the manager. I mentioned your impact this season. For me, you've been probably the most influential player in the Premier League. I mean, have I got that right?
That's the aim. I mean, it's big praise, but I appreciate it. It's coming to a club like Tottenham, obviously a bigger club in stature than Leicester. And I absolutely love my time at Leicester, but what's the word? Like the scrutiny, the pressure, the responsibility obviously goes up a notch when you come to one of these bigger clubs, and I love that and I thrive off that. And 60,000 fans here today, and I just love these occasions and on Monday Night Football, you know, and that's when I'm at my best, and I felt really good out there today, and I'm happy that we got the win, and because we're doing really well as a team, and we've got such a hard-working team and a great manager at the minute, and it's just a feel-good factor, and just want that to continue game on game, yeah.
Well, you've got a big game Friday, obviously a long way to go. You've done really well. I mean, how do you think you'll get on in that replay against Liverpool?
I just know by the tone of Cara's voice.
James, we'll let you go. You don't have to answer that question. Thank you very much for your time. Well done in getting that first goal at Spurs, and I'm sure the first of many. Well done tonight.
Thanks, James. Thank you.
Thanks, Cara. See you later.
Someone that you know actually very well, Gary.
Yeah, he was at Norwich as a young boy. He was out on loan at Coventry at the time, but we made the playoffs at Norwich. So he came back to train with us because his season had finished at Coventry, and yeah, his confidence was on show. The minute he walked in and he trained with the first team group, there was no doubt in his mind that he was still going to be the best player. So
confidence, yes, but did you see the ability from that?
Ability
that
to back it up, no doubt. You know, you do see some lads that are overconfident or maybe a little bit arrogant. James wasn't that. He just had an unbelievable belief in his own ability and a work ethic to match it.
Jamie's gone with it. He's your favourite, well, the best Premier League player of the season so far.
Yeah, I think he has been that influential. You think of the change in Spurs, and the credit has to go to the manager. It's his philosophy, his way of playing. But he's been a major part of that. He's come in, he's took the number 10. Harry Kane's shirt. Possibly the greatest player to ever play for Tottenham. I think at one stage early on he had the captain's armband on. You know, he's just that type of personality. And sometimes he mentioned there about going a step up in terms of a bigger club, the scrutiny. Sometimes it's too much for players. They can't actually handle it. It's not